coming up from the Northeast Live studios in Guwahati. Northeast Tonight with Wasbir Hussain.
Hello and welcome to Northeast Tonight, the show that decodes the region. Quite a few trends have been witnessed in the last few days in the run-up to Assam elections 2021. First, the BJP was quick to announce its first list of candidates, and the occasion was seized in two ways by the party and the candidates. First, the party candidates broke into celebrations with huge crowds as soon as the names were announced. Secondly, party's election mascot Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma was quick enough to regain his own campaign tempo by holding the massive bike rally from Junai to Silapathar and then going to Golaghat and Nazira to be by the side of his party candidates. Again today, he was in Majuli to be by the side of Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal as he filed his nominations and then landed in Silchar, the hub of the Barak Valley, later in the day. The Congress camp saw high drama before the first list was out, with senior leader Susmita Dev being peeved at the party leaving key seats to ally AIUDF in the Barak Valley. Sarat Barkatoki, another senior leader, also went public to say that he was unhappy that his son was not given a ticket. There is dissension within the AGP ranks too, with party founder Prafulla Mahanta being denied a ticket. Mahanta wants to contest under a Mahajut banner, but the Congress camp is apparently divided over the issue. So, will election 2021 in Assam be a clock and dagger game? Will those denied tickets turn saboteurs? If floor crossings have been so rampant just because someone is denied a ticket, what will be the situation after the results are announced? If parties do not get a clear majority, will elected members be ready for horse trading? Well, we'll have to wait and watch. But parties as of now are high on confidence, at least publicly. To discuss the subject, I have a high-profile political panel tonight. I am joined by former MP Mr. Kirip Chaliha. Joining me is Ahom Jatiyo Porishad spokesman Amrit Khataniyar. With me is also AIUDF spokesperson Champak Kalita. I also have BJP Assam spokesperson Janki Goswami. Congress spokesperson Raman Jha is joining me from Sibsagar, and joining me also is well-known commentator Dr. Nanigopal Mahanta, professor at Guwahati University. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Northeast Tonight. Let me first go to you, Nanigopal Mahanta, because I have got a very high-profile political panel. Almost all the political parties are represented. You are the only non-political person here. My question to you, Dr. Nanigopal Mahanta, we have seen people being denied tickets immediately, wasting no time to cross over, join another political party and get a ticket. Say, for example, Ajanta Niyog had left the Congress to join the BJP some time ago. Frustrated at that or agitated over that, after she was given the BJP ticket, Bitupan Saikia left the BJP and joined the Congress, and the Congress was quick to give him the ticket. Again, we have seen several other floor crossings. Paramananda Rajbongsi has quit the BJP and quit the AGP and joined the BJP. There are several others who have done the same thing. Now, is it an indication that after the results are announced, the same trend will continue if, of course, no party obtains a very, very clear majority? And as you know, the Times Now Sea Voter opinion polls, which was the first such poll to come out, have predicted a very tough fight in Assam. Nanigopal Mahanta.
Well, Wasbir, I do not believe that those days will come whenever there will be floor crossing or horse trading will take place in the post-election scenario. I strongly believe that in the 2021 election, the verdict will be clear and very categorical. So that scenario, in my view, may not come. That is number one. But number two, this kind of floor crossing or shifting of political parties depicts essentially three things. Number one, it shows the political opportunism, that it is the power. It is the power-centric politics, which is the most important characteristic of today's Assam's politics. That is number one. Number two, it also says a kind of end of ideology. We talk about ideological indoctrination. We talk about lofty ideals like secularism, or even BJP talks about the Hindutva ideology. But this kind of sudden, disruption or sudden change of camp, it shows the kind of bereft of ideology that is prevalent among our political leaders today. That is the point. Number three, the point I would like to say is that I do not think so that they may cause huge damage to the political parties by shifting their, political parties. Take the example of even Toro Prafulla Mahanta you have talked about in your initial comment. Prafulla Mahanta, he was a stalwart. He was the most important, leader of Assam movement. But few months back, immediately maybe in the last 2-3 months, he had traveled nook and corner of the state and he tried to garner the anti-Ka vote among the AGP leaders, and even including non-AGP people also he had gone and tried to garner their votes, but he has failed in the process. So I don't think so that Prafulla Mahanta, although he tries to shift his base at this point of time, would be in a position to make a major structural change in the politics of Assam. Although, as my information goes, Prafulla Mahanta would not venture into electoral politics this time. This is what my understanding is.
We'll have to wait and watch. Dr. Nanagopal Mahanta making 2 points there, very clear-cut points, that the verdict will be very clear this time round. Whoever wins will win with a clear majority. He has not taken names, but that is what Dr. Nanagopal Mahanta has said. And of course, he said that political flow crossing indicates that some of the political leaders, some of the members of political parties, they're bereft of ideologies. Let me go to you, Raman Jha in Sibsagar. Mr. Raman Jha, ऐसा माना जाता है कि काफ़ी नाराज़गी है आपका दल में, क्योंकि बराक वैली में पर्टिकुलरली काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट सीट्स आपका मित्र जुट जो है, मित्र दल AIUDF को दे दिया गया है. आपका वरिष्ठ नेता सुष्मिता देव इसमें ओपनली, ऑलमोस्ट पार्टी मीटिंग में ओपनली उनका नाराजगी जाहिर किया था.
देखिए, ये कांग्रेस एक बड़ी पार्टी है और इसमें कई लोग एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी से करीबन 20-20, 25-25 लोगों ने टिकट मांगा था. तो कहीं किसी एक को ही टिकट मिलेगा, तो इसमें नाराजगी हो सकती है कि कई लोग जिनको टिकट नहीं मिलता है उनके मन में क्षणिक थोड़े देर के लिए नाराजगी रहती है, लेकिन फिर सभी मिलके एक परिवार की तरह काम करते हैं. और हमने AIUDF को भी कोई ज्यादा सीट नहीं दिया है. आपने देखा होगा कि हमारे पार्टी ने उन्हें सिर्फ 14 सीट दी है. 126 में से 14 सीट उन्हें मिला है और 5 पे फ्रेंडली फाइट होगा. तो AIUDF के आज के डेट में तकरीबन उनके उतने MLA भी हैं और 5 पे फ्रेंडली फाइट होगा. इससे ज्यादा वो पिछले बार लड़ रहे थे ज्यादा सीटों पे.
लेकिन रमन झा जी, इलेक्शन का ऑन द ईव ऑफ द इलेक्शंस 3 सप्ताह बाकी है, तो इस बीच दिस काइंड ऑफ ओपन नाराजगी अगर जाहिर करता, आपने कहा कि कांग्रेस बड़ा पार्टी है, डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन तो होगा ही, लेकिन 3 weeks बिफोर द इलेक्शन अगर कोई नाराजगी जाहिर करता है, आपका सीनियर लीडर शरद बड़कटोगी जी ओपनली मीडिया को बोला कि ही इज वेरी अपसेट दैट हिज सन्स नेम वाज नॉट कंसिडर्ड. देन सिद्दीक अहमद ने कहा कि महाजोत क्रैक भी हो सकता है. नाउ इस तरह का बयान जब आता है इलेक्शन का 3 सप्ताह पहले, डोंट यू थिंक दैट इट ऑलरेडी डैमेजेस द चांसेस इन वेरियस प्लेसेस?
देखिए, मैंने पहले भी कहा कि टिकट नहीं मिलने से लोगों के मन में क्षणिक नाराजगी रहती है. हाँ, और है ऐसा कांग्रेस में नहीं है, ऐसे आपने बीजेपी में भी देखा होगा. कि गोलाघाट ले लीजिए, आप दुमदुमा ले लीजिए, आप शिवसागर ले लीजिए, बहुत सारा ऐसा कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी है जहां बीजेपी ने पिछले कई सालों से काम कर रहे लोगों को टिकट नहीं दिया है और नए लोगों को दिया है, तो वहां भी नाराजगी है. नाराजगी, हाँ, AJP में नाराजगी नहीं होगी क्योंकि उनकी नई पार्टी है अभी, लेकिन जो पुरानी पार्टी है उनमें लोगों के आकांक्षाएं भी ज्यादा होता है, वर्कर्स भी ज्यादा है.
तो आपका कहना है कि इसमें कोई प्रभाव, इसमें कोई इंपैक्ट नहीं होगा इलेक्शन में? मैं दोबारा आऊंगा आपके पास.
जो लोग नाराज हैं वो मिलके पार्टी के साथ काम करेंगे. उन्होंने क्षणिक नाराजगी है, वो मिलके काम करेंगे.
मैं दोबारा आऊंगा आपके पास. रमन झा जी बने रहिए. लेट मी गो टू यू मिस्टर चंपक कलिता, स्पोक्सपर्सन ऑफ द AIUDF. चंपक कलिता जी, ये बताइए कि आपका जो अभी रमन झा जी ने खुद कहा कांग्रेस की आपका मित्रजोट की नेता, Now, you have got only 14 seats. AIUDF has been given only 14 seats. These were the 14 seats where you have sitting MLAs and you are fighting friendly in 5 constituencies. You are also likely to contest this time. That is what our sources are telling us. हमको सूत्र ने कहा है कि आप भी खुद contest करने वाला है. आपका सीट बॉरखेत्री में आप contest करने वाला, वो अलग बात है. But are you happy that you have got only 14 seats? आपका उम्मीद क्या था?
देखिए ये एक अलायंस इरा है, हर पार्टी का हर समय अलायंस है, लेकिन AIUDF पहली बार अलायंस में जा रहा है, इसीलिए, और छोटा पार्टी है, उसका जनाधार बड़ा है, लेकिन पार्टी कम समय का पार्टी है, 15-16 साल का पार्टी है, और ये हम लोग का फर्स्ट एक्सपीरियंस है अलायंस टॉक का। इसीलिए हम हमेशा उम्मीद करेंगे कि कांग्रेस हम लोग का बड़ा भाई है, इसीलिए हमेशा हम उम्मीद करेंगे जो हम लोग का एक्सपीरियंस कम है अलायंस में कैसे सीट निकालना है, इसको कांग्रेस ज़रूर सोचेगा कि ये पार्टी का एक्सपीरियंस कम है इन चीज़ बातों में, लेकिन इस पार्टी का जनाधार बड़ा है। अगर किसी कारण से 1-2 सीट के लिए हम लोग का अगर जो जनाधार है ये अगर डिस्टर्ब हो जाएगा या उसको डिस्टर्बेंस आ जाएगा, तो इसके लिए AIUDF को जितना थोड़ा बहुत लॉस्ट होगा उससे ज़्यादा लॉस कांग्रेस को होने वाला है, क्योंकि कांग्रेस हम लोग का वोट का एक कैरेक्टर है कि AIUDF का वोट 100% ट्रांसफर होता है। ये लास्ट कई बार आप लोग देख चुके हैं कि अभी अलायंस नहीं भी हुआ था, जेंटलमैन एग्रीमेंट था लास्ट 2019 में, तो कलियाबर एंड नौगांव में, तो हम लोग का वोट 100% ट्रांसफर हुआ है। इसीलिए हम लोग का जो अलायंस टक करने का जो एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, इसको थोड़ा समझ के कांग्रेस को थोड़ा कंसीडर करना चाहिए कि ये दोनों गठबंधन के लिए अच्छा होगा कि और एक रिलैक्सेशन होके थोड़ा सा रिजिड नहीं होके कि अभी देखिए मैं एक बात बताऊं, कुछ चीजें हैं, मैं 32 साल हो गया पार्लियामेंट्री पॉलिटिक्स में।
Okay, I'll have to hold you here. I will go live to Silchar. I'm coming back to all my panelists. Give me 2 minutes. We're going live to Silchar, where Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma is speaking. Okay, let's cut across live to Silchar. These are live feed coming in from Silchar, where BJP leader Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma is currently camping.
কোনো ক্ষোভ আৰু বিক্ষোভ নাই, কোনো ক্ষোভ আৰু বিক্ষোভ নাই। ভাৰতীয় জনতা পাৰ্টিৰ সকলো কাৰ্যকৰ্তাই লগ হৈ আমাৰ দলৰ প্ৰাৰ্থী গোটেই কেইগৰাকী প্ৰাৰ্থীকে বিজয়ী কৰিব। ৰাইজৰ আশীৰ্বাদ, ৰাইজৰ আশীৰ্বাদ। মই কাকো ভয় কাকো নকৰোঁ, অকল ভগৱানক, দেউতা মা ভগৱান আৰু পাব্লিক। এইটো মোক নুসুধিব, এইটো আৰক্ষীক সুধিব, মোক পলিটিকেল কথা সোধক। মই তেখেতৰ ল'ৰা যাতে টিকেট পায় তাৰ বাবে মই যিমান চেষ্টা কৰিব লাগে মই কৰিছিলোঁ। যিসকল মিটিঙত আছে তেওঁলোকে জানে, কিন্তু কিবা কাৰণত যেহেতু ইয়াত সাৰ্ভে আছিলে, সাৰ্ভে ৰিপৰ্টৰ ওপৰত দৈপায়ন ভাইক টিকট দিছে, গতিকে এইটো মোৰ কৰণীয়টো মই কৰিছোঁ, ওপৰৱালা আছে, মোৰ দায়িত্বটো মই কৰিছোঁ। এইটো আমাৰ ইয়াত নৰেন্দ্ৰ মোদী, অমিত শ্বাহ, JP নাড্ডা টিকট দিয়াৰ মানুহ, আমি হ'ল চুপাৰিচ কৰা মানুহ। আমি চুপাৰিচ কৰিছোঁ নাই সেইটো মই জানো, কিন্তু আমাৰ পাৰ্টিত কিবা এটা সাৰ্ভে হৈছিলে, সাৰ্ভে ৰিপৰ্টৰ ওপৰত টিকেট হয়, আৰু গোবিন্দ বাবু নিজেই জানে। গতিকে মই ভাবোঁ যে তেখেত মনত কষ্ট পাইছে, পোৱাটো স্বাভাৱিক, কিন্তু দলৰ প্ৰাৰ্থীক তেওঁ আশীৰ্বাদ কৰিব, সমৰ্থন কৰিব। চাওক, মই এটা কথা জানো, শিলচৰ বিধানসভা সমষ্টিত 50,000+ ভোটত বিজেপি জিকিব। আগৰবাৰতকৈ 2-3খন আসন বেছি। মোৰ ৰাজদীপৰ লগত কথা হৈছে, একো প্ৰব্লেম নাই। ৰাজদীপ গোৱালা জইন কৰা দিনাখনে মই কৈছোঁ যে লখিমপুৰ চিট তোমাৰ নহ'ব, ইউ শুড জইন আছ, ইউ শুড ৱৰ্ক উইথ আছ, এণ্ড হি ইজ এগ্ৰিয়েবল। কালিতো ৰাতি মোৰ লগত কথা, কালি ৰাতিটো পৰহি ৰাতিটো মোৰ লগতে বহি আছিলে, He was with me day before yesterday. মহাজোট নে মহাজট মহাজটত জট লাগি গ'ল এটা জট নুখুলি আৰু 50,000 plus.
Okay, that was Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma who arrived in Silchar this evening. If you have heard, viewers, if you have heard that he said that don't ask me, ask the police on these issues, ask me only political issues. He was obviously referring, the journalists were obviously asking him about the threat to his life. That is what he has said a short while ago in Silchar, that the DGP Bhaskar Jyoti Mahanta had telephoned him last night and this morning and told him to be on extra guard following there was been some kind of inputs that there could be some kind of a threat, some sections could be trying to target him. Of course, he is a very high profile political leader. He has been crisscrossing the entire state and therefore the caution from the Assam police, who is of course, Assam police is not panicking but has intensified his security. That's what he was saying. And of course, this is exactly the discussion we're doing tonight, viewers, where you've seen Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma was asked by journalists whether Kabindra Purkasth's son, that's what Janki, that's what the journalists were asking the question, but Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, your party leader, said that Kabindra Purkastha will definitely bless, although his son has not got the ticket, he'll definitely bless the bless your candidate who has been nominated for to contest the elections this time. So the BJP is also not immune to a lot of frustrations. A lot of people were frustrated. For example, Bitu Ponsaikia, your party, one of your senior party leaders in Golaghat, he joined the Congress party and he is now the Congress candidate contesting against. So there's a reversal of seats there. So your party is also not immune to this trend in the state.
See, all I want to tell you is that we only see the decision, but these are very strategic decisions. So we see the decision, but behind the scene activities, there are a lot of behind the scene activities. There is a lot of and a very long meticulous thoughts given into it, and a lot of process of discussion that goes into coming to a final decision. Now, every seat that was considered this time, every party ticket that was distributed this time was taken, the decision was taken after, as I told you, after a lot of meticulous discussions. And not only that, it was done in a very democratic manner. Certain surveys were conducted, and one of these surveys is Awaz Apni Suno, some similar name. I mean, that kind of a survey was done, which is a very democratic process of coming to a decision.
10,000 people per constituency were consulted.
Yes. And this is an autonomous way of taking a decision. So all these surveys were done from a very long process. We have, as I told you, we have only seen the decision that has come now. But the process that has gone into it was a long process. So these decisions are not unthought of decision. These are very thought of decisions.
And you're saying that your party has to understand this. And yesterday,
our party is a very disciplined party.
Yesterday, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma was asked this question, and he said these are all loyalists of the BJP and loyalists of the Prime Minister, and therefore everybody has to work in the party interest. That is what he said. I'm coming to Kirit Chalia last because as of now, he does not belong to any political party after having totally severed his ties with the Congress. Let me come to you, Mr. Amrit Khatoniyar, spokesperson of the Ahom Jatiya Parishad. The same thing is happening. You know, we thought that Ahom Jatiya Parishad is a new political party. You have gone into an alliance with another regional party. You have no track with either the Congress or the BJP, but still, we have seen that there are seats where there are candidates of both your alliance partners, that is the Ahom Jatiya Parishad as well as your alliance partner, Rai Jordal. That has also happened. Why do you think you could not be immune to this? Why could not think you could be different?
No, look, this friendly contest is a normal phenomenon in Indian democracy. Now, Rai Jordal has given their candidates as a friendly contestants. There is no harm in it. So we do not believe that. We are not afraid of it.
So don't you honestly think that, you know, being a new party, raring to make an impact in this election, flying the flag of regionalism, because you accuse the AGP of being an ally of the BJP and therefore losing its regional character and so on and so forth. My question to you, don't you think that, you know, if the Rai Jordal candidate is would not have been there, or for that matter, AGP candidate would not have been. It would have benefited actually the respective candidates.
No, that's the speculations that I've got, but the fact remains that this is a normal trend, that there is a friendly contest that generally taken place.
So you are saying that it will not impact?
No, it will not have impact on our whole agenda as such. But the important point is that the Nani Gopal Mahanta has rightly said that we have lost the there is a loss of ideology in the political scenario. There's a power-centric politics has come up. That's not a healthy sign for a normal democracy. The true democracy, that there should have been some sort of ideology. Now, people shifting from this to that. Despite that, even though BJP is trying to say that there is no discontentment amongst their party profile and various ranks and profiles, but the fact remains, a few months back, it was very categorically said, it was said in the public that all the sitting MLAs' performance will be assessed. There were rumors that some of the constituencies, even for Dibrugarh, Prashant Fukon's seat was not confirmed, so like the Digboi.
Anyway, let's not talk about
these things. Now my point is, that the reference why I have got it, because BJP was sure that if they change the candidates, there might be tremendous discontentment.
No,
so
they have changed. They have denied ticket to as many as 11 sitting MLAs.
Only 11. Only 11. But major of the sitting MLAs.
No, out of 60
so they were also not that much comfortable of discontentment.
Okay, let's not talk about other parties now.
So far, our is concerned, we are comfortable even if they go for a friendly contest.
That's what you were saying. That's the point Amrit Khataniar of the AJP is making, that even if there is a Raijar Dal candidate, is not going to impact his party, because after all, he's saying that it's a friendly contest. Now, I'm coming to you, Mr. Kripchalia. The point which Dr. Nani Gopal Mahanta had made right at the beginning, Mr. Kripchalia, that, the political parties seems to have lost their ideology. Now, see, nobody can blame anybody now, because everybody is in the game. You see, Bitupan Saikia was until recently a key aide of Ajanta Neog. Fine, Ajanta Neog had left the Congress and joined the BJP.
He aide of Ajanta Neog? He aide of Ajanta Neog? I don't think so. I think he was in BJP.
Ajanta, he was in Congress. Now,
Bitupan Neog was never in Congress.
Bitupan was in BJP. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What I'm actually saying is that Ajanta Neog had joined the BJP. That's happened a couple of weeks ago, couple of months ago. Fine.
December.
But why do you think Bitupan Saikia has gone and joined the BJP? Congress. Now, the Congress has also taken him. There was absolutely no problem.
So
the BJP has no problem in taking the Congress. Congress has no problem in taking the BJP. AGP people have also left and joined the BJP, although you are an alliance partner. So what's going on? The people would like to know from someone like you, who has been a veteran in politics, address this issue that Nani Gopal Mahanta raised. Where is something called political ideology?
See, I don't think this kind of changes take place because of any compromise on political ideology. Politics is, after all, not Binoba Bhave's Fudan Yagya. Politics has got its own characteristics. It's not totally, a yagya, as you said, religious, some kind of religious ritual. No. So, within the political parties also, there are groupisms. There are various kinds of attempts to sideline somebody, a particular personality. See, if somebody comes from some other political party and annihilates the entire older base, then he has to be prepared to face the reaction, the alternate reaction. That is normal in case of Congress, that is in case of BJP. And similarly, if Congress takes a stalwart of a BJP and makes he or her fight the election suddenly, if the other BJP decides that no, we'll select the other prominent leader from Congress, I think these are all matters of strategy.
So you are saying these are part of the game?
To say that, theorize that because of that ideology has been compromised, then in that case you are ideology.
So there is no ideology.
No, you are then helping personal tyranny of groups.
I'm coming to you, Nani Gopal Mahanta. I'm just coming to you, Raman Jha ji. There is no problem. आप आज का तारीख में आप बीजेपी को भी blame नहीं कर सकते हैं, because you are doing the same thing which the other parties are doing. आपका नेता वहां चले जाते हैं तो आप उनका नेता ले लेंगे, उनको टिकट दे देंगे, कॉन्टेस्ट करिए, तो आपका कोई मॉरल राइट ही नहीं है टू टॉक अबाउट फ्लोर क्रॉसिंग.
No, this is not floor crossing. This is pre-election. This is not a floor crossing. I beg your pardon.
I am using the word. Don't try to catch me on technicalities. रमन शाह जी,
मैं बोल रहा हूँ आज के दिन में बीजेपी कहाँ है? असम में जितने भी बीजेपी में बड़े लीडर हैं सब तो कांग्रेस से गए हैं, चाहे वो हमारे हेमंत बिश्व शर्मा हो, 25 साल तक का आपके कांग्रेस में ही, हमारे कांग्रेस में ही थे, अभी जाके वहाँ सेकेंड इन कमान है.
तो aren't you doing the same? Aren't you doing the same thing?
नहीं, वी आर नॉट डूइंग द सेम थिंग.
क्यों?
क्या है कि कुछ लोग एक रुक जाइए, पहले सुन लीजिए मुझे. कि आपने कहा कि अजंता नेहरू या कई ऐसे नेता है जिन्हें कांग्रेस से बीजेपी ले गई है इलेक्शन खिलवाने के लिए, क्योंकि उनके पास लीडरशिप के अभाव है. और हमारे यहाँ से भी कुछ लीडर, जैसे रुपेश वाला ही ले लीजिए, अभी वो गया, उसे हाथों हाथ बीजेपी ने टिकट दी है. तो हमने भी अगर एक दो को टिकट दिया, तो यहाँ आइडियोलॉजी आप देख रहे हो, वहां भी आइडियोलॉजी को देखो. और दूसरी चीज, मैंने अभी आज एक चीज का मैं कंडम कर दूं पहले, कि आपने अभी थोड़ा देर पहले कहा था कि हेमंत बिश्व शर्मा जी को थ्रेट मिला है कि वो एक अच्छे नेता हैं, पॉपुलर नेता हैं, तो उन्हें जान का खतरा का एक धमकी मिला है. डीजीपी साहब ने भी उन्हें फोन किया. तो ये दुर्भाग्य है असम के लिए कि वो सीआरपीएफ के सिक्योरिटी में रहते हैं, जेल सिक्योरिटी में हैं, और ऐसी परिस्थिति में भी उनको जान का खतरा है. तो असम के लोगों के जान का क्या होगा? असम में कानून व्यवस्था की क्या हालत है?
आप पॉलिटिकल ट्विस्ट दे रहे हैं.
हाँ, नहीं, मैं पॉलिटिकल ट्विस्ट नहीं दे रहा हूँ, ये निंदनीय है. हमारे अच्छे नेता हैं, उनको अगर कोई जान का खतरा है, कोई देता है, तो ये निंदनीय है. हम इसकी तीव्र भाषा में विरोध करते हैं और उनकी सुरक्षा पूरी तरह से की जाए. हम आग्रह करते हैं गृह विभाग से, आग्रह करते हैं डीजीपी साहब से, उनको पूर्ण सुरक्षा दी जाए.
ऑलराइट.
ऐसे भी
डॉक्टर ननिगोपाल महंत,
दूसरी बात, एक आइडियोलॉजी की बात तो सोचनी चाहिए बीजेपी को. आज बीजेपी में आदर्श और नीति कहाँ है? उनके कितने नेता हैं जो बीजेपी के ओरिजिनल, जो आज से 20 साल पहले नमक रोटी खा के जो बीजेपी कर रहे थे, वो कहाँ है? वो तो बीजेपी में दिख ही नहीं रहे. आज जो भी है वो कांग्रेस से, एजीपी से.
नो, द पॉइंट आई एम मेकिंग, माय पॉइंट जो हम आपको, मैं दोबारा आऊंगा आपके पास, लेकिन मेरा पॉइंट जो है ये सिंपल पॉइंट है. आज का तारीख में कांग्रेस, यू ऑल्सो कैन नॉट बी ऑन हाई मॉरल ग्राउंड, बिकॉज आपने भी वही कर रहा है जो आप दूसरे पार्टी को एक्यूज कर रहा है. ना, आई विल कम टू यू नमन झा जी, आई विल कम बैक.
सीट दिया है और उन्होंने 70% दिया है दूसरे पार्टी के दलों के लोगों नेताओं को. अब ये देख लीजिए कि आइडियोलॉजी किसके पास है.
तो उसमें भी आपने कंपटीशन लगाया, उन्होंने 70% किया, आपका अभी तक 30% है. 70% हो जाएगा. Anyway, I'll come back to that. That's not the core trust. Hold your thoughts. Dr. Nanigopal Mohanty, you began by saying where is political ideology. My question is, Mr. Kirip Salia said that, people changing parties does not mean that there is a compromise of political ideologies. But can we forget the fact that certain leaders are elected by the voters because they believe in a certain ideology they represent, and tomorrow we don't know, the voters don't know where their neta is going to join. Don't you think that is actually betraying the trust of the voters? Nanigopal Mohanty.
Well, Wasbir, my point is that, my contention is that, when one gets into the politics of power is like intoxication. Once you are a minister, once you are an MLA, once you are denied of that MLA-ship or you are deprived of ticket, then that intoxication surround you in such a manner that come what may, you will do anything what you want to do. So whether in such scenario, your ideology becomes redundant. Your political expediency, political opportunism, and your...
Dr. Nanigopal Mohanty, who is the victim in this case? Don't you think the voters become the victims at the end of the day?
Certainly. That is the clause 10 of People's Representation Act 1951. It says it tries to stop Ayaram Gairam because you got elected on the basis of certain promises that you have made to the electorates, on the basis of which people have elected you. But later on, you have come to know that consistency is virtue of a donkey, so you do not want to become a donkey.
How do you defend that, Mr. Kiripchalia? How do you defend that? Nanigopal Mohanty has very clearly said that people elect you on the basis of a certain ideology that you preach on behalf of a particular political party as a candidate. Now, then tomorrow, you decide, oh, this political party is sinking, I should join the ship of the ruling side so that I can enjoy my perks, as Nani Gopal Mohanty said. How do you defend
I'll give
this?
you one simple fact, and I just leave the answers to you and to question to Janki and you, or on Nani Gopal Mohanty. Himanta Biswa Sarma changed the party from Congress to BJP. He is emerging as a big BJP leader now, holding the BJP ideology, highlighting the ideology. He has won the election, he has resigned from the MLA-ship, contested the election again and again, and he has been winning. Again, he is going to win. Is it a burial of ideology? Is it a betrayal of people's trust?
So that is a very interesting point. And I'm asking you a question, Janki. I think that's a very interesting point.
I would like to continue on that point. I would like to add on.
That's a very interesting point. Yes, Nani Gopal, you make your point, and then I'm asking a question to Janki.
Yeah, one will be justified. One will be justified. Can I speak?
Yes, carry on. Very quickly.
Yeah, one will be justified. Once the election is over, then you have come to know that this is not the, or if you resign from the party where you got elected, then you have the political right to change your, political camp. But while being an MLA or while you're continuing as a,
the changes are taking place who are not MLAs. They're workers.
You cannot
the workers have a right to select parties.
Yeah. Now, exactly. Now, in such scenario, what Himanta Biswa Sarma did, he resigned. He had the opportunity to take the lock, stock, barrel with Honorable Governor and to express his dissatisfaction against then Chief Minister, but he didn't do. He resigned. So I think there's a difference. When you resign from that post, then you shift your camp. That could be justified, because if you are continuously subjugated to discrimination, then you have the right.
I'll have to go for a break, but I'll come back to my other panelists, Mr. Champak Kalita of the AIUDF and Mr. Amrit Khatrania. But my question to you, Janki Goswami, is this: that we are discussing specific cases now, but don't you think that somebody is in a political party, then he or she realizes that that's absolutely clashing with his worldview, and therefore he or she has the right to change the party.
Absolutely.
So that is the point which I get from what Mr. Kirip Chalia is making.
No, I would like to state one reason here, that this is one situation you cannot generalize among everybody. Because if I cite the example of Mrs. Ajanta Nayok, I have seen her as a woman of commitment, as a lady of commitment. I have seen her working hard when she wasn't. Leaving aside the case of Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, that is a bigger case. I will have to go to further detail to talk about him, because he is a man of, unparalleled ideology. I don't want to, this will be a long story if I discuss about him, but if I take that small example of Ajanta Nayok, she has changed party because the party that she was in has eroded all values. That party has eroded all values, and somehow probably now her ideologies are clashing with that party, and that's why she switched sides. And I totally justify her decision. I totally justify her decision. The party that she was in has lost all values.
जब उन्होंने बीजेपी ज्वाइन किया था, उनको कहना था कि उनको पार्टी का वैल्यूज नंबर 1, नंबर 2, उनको पार्टी ने उनको कंप्लीटली साइडलाइन कर दिया, कंप्लीटली कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं दिया।
I absolutely justify her decision.
देखिए, मैं एक ही बात कहूंगा कि अभी आपके गोस्वामी जी भाजपा के प्रवक्ता बोल रहे थे कि वो महिला हैं, तो मैं उन्हें एक ही बात उनसे पूछना चाहूंगा कि अजंता ने जब कांग्रेस में थी ना, तो पिछले 15 साल वो मंत्री रही, पार्टी ने उन्हें सब सम्मान दिया, किचन से लेके मंत्री के कैबिनेट मंत्रिमंडल तक उन्हें जो निकल के आए किचन से, तो कैबिनेट मंत्री का दर्जा उन्हें कांग्रेस पार्टी ने दिया। लेकिन आज के डेट में बीजेपी के कैबिनेट में पिछले 5 साल में एक भी महिला मंत्री नहीं थी बीजेपी के।
किचन से लेके कैबिनेट तक वो अपने बलबूते पे आई है।
तो नहीं, हाँ, अपने बलबूते पे आई है और कांग्रेस ने उन्हें जगह दी।
आपने नहीं लाया, वो अपने बलबूते पे आई है। She deserved it.
नहीं, अपनी मेहनत पे आई है। आप लोगों ने क्या किया? पिछले 5 साल में बीजेपी के कैबिनेट में कौन महिला थी बीजेपी की तरफ से? अमीरा रानी बीपीएफ की तरफ से थी। आपके अलायंस पार्टी ने एक महिला को सम्मान दिया, लेकिन आप बड़े पार्टी होते हुए 60 विधायक थे आपके, आपने अपने कैबिनेट में एक महिला को जगह नहीं दिया।
ओके, उसमें हम नहीं जाएंगे अभी। मिस्टर चंपक कलिता,
महिला को उत्थान की बात कर रहे हैं, तो ये मत कीजिए।
I'm going for a break, Raman Jha ji. Hold on, I'm coming back to you. I'm going for a break. आप किस तरह से देखते हैं चंपक कलिता जी, क्योंकि आपका दल में now in AIUDF this has been comparatively less. I may or may not be, correct me if I am wrong, Nani Gopal Mohanty, but comparatively ये क्यों है? Is it because you have a certain vote bank इसलिए है?
नहीं, देखिए मैं आपको बताऊं, जो AIUDF का जहाँ से गठन हुआ है, जो AIUDF का पृष्ठभूमि है, जो बैकग्राउंड, अगर वहाँ से आप देखें तो आज तक जो AIUDF का सफ़र है, AIUDF 10, मैं विधायक की बात कर रहा हूँ, 10, 18, 14, ये मतलब पहले बार 10, उसके बाद उन्होंने कहीं ना कहीं AIUDF ने अपने आप को सस्टेन किया। और हिंदी में कहावत है कि सहज पके सो मीठा होए। AIUDF ने छोड़ा नहीं, संग्राम छोड़ा नहीं, और इतना जिल्लत AIUDF ने लास्ट 15-16 साल में लिया कि सांप्रदायिक दल, मुसलमानों का दल, लेकिन इसको सहज लेते हुए, सहन करते हुए आते आते आज कांग्रेस जैसा एक दल, BPF जैसा एक, अजीत भैया जैसा एक बड़ा आदमी AIUDF को रिकॉग्नाइज किया। AIUDF एक सेकुलर पार्टी है। मैं खत्म कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन अभी मैं कह रहा हूँ, अभी हिरेन गुहाई जैसा एक बड़ा आदमी AIUDF को डिफेंड करते हुए रिजाइन दिया। हाँ, हम लोग का जिम्मेदारी बड़ा है, आगे से बड़ा है कि हम लोग को इसको प्रूव करना है।
I'm going for a break. When I come back, I'll go to Amrit Khataniar of the AJP and try to ascertain views from him on what he thinks on these issues. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm coming to you, Mr. Amrit Khataniar. I have got a very simple question to my panelists tonight. I'll start with you, Mr. Amrit Khataniar. How is election 2021 going to be different? Because a lot of people are saying a lot of things. What is your assessment? How is it going to be different?
Now, this year, this 2021 election will be primarily on issue based. Despite there being Gathbandhans, joining parties, BJP doing that, people will go into the few more issues. Only specific issues like Clause 6, then development, then corruption, then the employment problems, then all sorts of these anomalies that has taken place last 5 years of this government. How they have reacted to the various issues that is plaguing the state of Assam, right from flood, and you tell anything, nothing has happened and nothing has improved. Rather, it has gone to dogs. So people have watched it, they realized it.
So it will be issue-based election.
Issue-based election.
How are election 2021 going to be different according to you? Because we are already seeing a lot of rhetorics. Yes, we have seen the Congress coming up with... Can you hear me, Dr. Nandigopal Mahanta?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yes. We have seen the Congress coming up with 5 guarantees, which they say, but we have seen a lot of rhetorics. But how is election 2021 going to be different?
Well, you see, if I can refer to various political parties, for example, for BJP, last time the CM candidate was declared beforehand, but this time there is no such declared CM for the BJP.
Yes.
And coming to Congress, I think Congress AIDF, it is AIDF who will be the larger beneficiary entire process of Mahajudgan, whatever you call it, between Congress, AIDF and other political parties. Because what I have seen is that AIDF was, decreasing its vote share, particularly in Barak Valley and in Lower Assam. But this time their consolidation and their alliance with Congress will provide larger legitimacy to AIDF than to Congress. That is what my reading is all about. And thirdly, I thought there will be a consolidation of total opposition political parties. But today, pro-ka vote is essentially united and anti-ka vote is now, it is disoriented, it is divided. So that's how, these are some of the issues that will come up. And regarding issues, of course, AJP, Rise or Dal, even initially I thought that they would try to bring the particularly East Bengal origin Muslims, they have had lot of support base, but with the letter being issued by Akhil Gogoi, that had created a lot of confusion. So I do not see a cohesive a unified opposition voice
Okay.
to fight
All right.
against BJP.
Okay.
These are some of the takeaway points.
Right. Raman Jha, you wanted to say something? Raman Jha, yes?
मैं उनके आवाज को ठीक से नहीं सुन पा रहा था, क्या बताएंगे वो क्या बोल रहे थे, उनकी आवाज मेरे पास नहीं आ रहा था।
नहीं, मैं ये पूछ रहा था, हाउ इज इलेक्शन 2021 किस तरह से अलग होगा?
देखिए 2021 का इलेक्शन तो अलग होगा ही। ये होगा कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने जिस तरह से लोगों के साथ धोखा किया है और गलत वादे किए हैं, इसलिए सबसे पहले कांग्रेस ने वादा करना बंद कर दिया है। कांग्रेस पार्टी अब गारंटी दे रही। हमने 5 गारंटी दी है राशन की जनता को, जिसे कांग्रेस पार्टी पूरा करेगी। हमने करोड़ों के सपने नहीं दिखाए, हमने लाखों में जितना हम दे सकते हैं उतना बोले हैं। और जनता इस बार कांग्रेस पार्टी अपने गारंटी को पूरा करेगी। उनकी सरकार आएगी 2021 में और हम जनता से किए गए जो जनता को हमने गारंटी दिया उसे पूरा करेंगे। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा, जनता अब थक चुके हैं वादों से।
Okay. जानकी गोस्वामी, जानकी, हाउ डू यू रिस्पॉन्ड? बिकॉज कांग्रेस ने वादा करना बंद कर दिया है, कांग्रेस ने गारंटी
5 गारंटी दे रहे हैं आप लोग। जो गारंटी दे रहे हैं उसका कोई बेस ही नहीं है। तो आप जो सपनों का सौदागर वाले बात कर रहे हैं। आई वांट टू कम टू चंपकदा had mentioned a few points. Actually, there is not. I don't want to blame Champakda for this because I have seen that AIUDF is sticking to their ideology since their emergence. Whatever their ideology is, whether it is Mia Museum, Mia School, Arabic Banner, Kalakshetra attack, whatever their ideology is, they are sticking to their ideology. What is a matter of concern is that Congress has very conveniently adopted their ideology and they are now coming up with a new face.
रमन झा,
that is a matter of concern.
रमन झा, मिस जानकी गोस्वामी का कहना ये है।
देखिए जानकी गोस्वामी ने थोड़ा शब्दों का जगलरी करते हुए ऐसा कुछ बोला कि मियां म्यूजियम, कलाक्षेत्र अटैक और ये कुछ, ये हम लोग का आइडियोलॉजी है। सुनिए, हम लोग का ये आइडियोलॉजी है, ये हम स्ट्रांगली मैं अपोज करता हूं क्योंकि हम लोग का आइडियोलॉजी है स्वराय, जापी, असमीज लैंग्वेज, असमीज कल्चर, बिहू, सिरा, पिठा, ये सब हम लोग का आइडियोलॉजी है। और सुनिए, मेरे बात सुनिए, इसीलिए आप लोग का जो नागपुर का आइडियोलॉजी है, इस आइडियोलॉजी का फैलाव में एआईयूडीएफ का आइडियोलॉजी हमेशा रोड़ा लगाता है। इसीलिए हम लोग
भारत माता की आइडियोलॉजी है
कि आज बीजेपी को, आप बीजेपी को लग रहा है कि एआईयूडीएफ
आपकी आइडियोलॉजी
हमेशा
जानकी जी है कि नहीं?
रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर आपका
जानकी जी आपका आइडियोलॉजी है कि नहीं?
Let me take a response from Raman Jha. Let me take a response. What Janki Goswami had basically said, उनका कहना था कि एजीपी का, एआईयूडीएफ का आइडियोलॉजी का वो मालूम है, उनको आश्चर्य होने का कोई बात नहीं है, लेकिन उनका कहना था कि कांग्रेस ने एआईयूडीएफ का आइडियोलॉजी कैसे एडॉप्ट कर लिया।
देखिए, कांग्रेस का अपना एक आइडियोलॉजी है, 135 साल पुरानी पार्टी है और कांग्रेस का एक बहुत बड़ा विचारधारा है जिसमें सबका साथ और सबका विकास। ये महात्मा गांधी की पार्टी है। हम मुंह से नहीं बोलते सबका साथ। रुक दीजिए, सुन लीजिए, ये नाथूराम गौडसे की विचारधारा और वीर सावरकर की विचारधारा की पार्टी नहीं है, जो जब जेल में रहते हैं तो अंग्रेजों से माफी मांगते हैं कि हमें माफ कर दीजिए, हम आपके साथ हैं।
These are cliched words. These are cliched. We have heard it.
रुक जाइए,
we have heard it many times.
ये जो आइडियोलॉजी की बात है, हम अपने विचारधारा के साथ हैं और कांग्रेस की विचारधारा जो है वो सबको साथ लेके जाने की बात है। उन्होंने मियां म्यूजियम के बात जिस कमेटी ने मियां म्यूजियम के प्रस्ताव को पास किया था,
जानकी गोस्वामी जी ने
10 विधायक बीजेपी तो एक ही दल से आपको सहायता मिली है, सपोर्ट मिली है।
मुझे मेरे साथ
किया है
सीपीएम है, हमारे साथ सीपीएम है, सीपीएमएल है,
दुनिया में नहीं है,
आंचलिक दल है।
बदरुद्दीन जी में आपने जगह का जुमला आप आज उनका वर्तमान में उनका नई दुनिया में आपने बोला है, आपने नैतिक अपराध किया है। जानकी गोस्वामी जी आपने तरुण गोगोई को अपमान किया है। जानकी गोस्वामी जी आपने जानकी गोस्वामी जी आपने गोगोई को
cannot sit in judgment. चंपक आपका पॉइंट सुना. We cannot sit in judgment अपराध किया कि नहीं. बट ये आप मना नहीं कर सकते कि तरुण गोगोई जी ने, स्वर्गीय तरुण गोगोई जी ने ये जरूर कहा था.
उसका क्लियर भी किया उन्होंने.
उन्होंने बहुत कुछ कहा. उन्होंने बहुत कुछ कहा था. अच्छे भी कहे थे, बुरे भी कहे थे, कंट्रोवर्शियल भी कहे थे. ये कंट्रोवर्शियल स्टेटमेंट है.
एमएलए है, एमपी है, बड़ा पार्टी है. आज मैं नहीं बोलूंगा.
मेरा बात सुनिए.
एक सज्जन जो दुनिया में नहीं है, इसलिए नैतिक अपराध.
मेरा बात सुनिए.
तरुण गोगोई जी को
मेरे बात सुनिए. मिस्टर Kiripchalia, I am coming to you, Dr. Nanigopal Mohanto. Mr. Kiripchalia, you know, Mr. Kiripchalia, the issue is in this humdrum of election campaign where rhetorics take away much of our time, much of the time of the television time, the newspaper space, as well as the viewers' attention. Now, do you think the real issues confronting Assam are likely to be drowned yet again?
100%. I think this election will actually expose the intellectual bankruptcy of Assamese the electorate, because they are being taken for a ride. I think the real issues are not finding right expression and right emphasis, and more importantly, I think they are not being taken with due seriousness. I'm not blaming only the political parties. Political parties will always have to make two memes in this kind of talks, like, you know, what Tarun Gogoi said, what this man said, what that man said, or what has happened. But the point is the basic questions of people, the fight against corruption, gender inequality, oppression,
livelihood options,
false regionalism,
livelihood options,
social coexistence. There are so many serious things, and most importantly, regional disparity in a place like Assam. How it has to be tackled. Now, all those things are taking a back seat. And you know, the most dangerous thing that is happening is election is now becoming totally money oriented. Let me tell you, nobody who is a poor man, no political party who doesn't have resources can organize a political party. Now, these are very fundamental questions. No. Freebies. I'll give you one more example, and I'll end this because I'm not into that race. Freebies. Whether these are really the panacea for all ills of this the poverty, whether that is the right step or not. These are the questions that has to be seriously discussed. But in spite of all this, let me tell you, the political equations are changing. One particular formation was highly leading. Now the other seems to be closing up according to the latest political surveys and your analysis. No, one last word. I think this election might prove to be a precursor for vast changes.
Okay, we'll have to wait and watch. I always say the voters are the king. We'll have to wait until 2nd of May. But Dr. Nanigopal Mohanto, Kiripchalia has agreed, he seems to agree the fact that, real issues confronting the people, confronting the state are going to be drowned with rhetorics this time again.
Wasbir, I do agree with Kiripchalia that yes, development politics should be the main agenda of electoral politics. There is not an iota of doubt about it. But we have to talk about some other issues also, Wasbir. Till 1970s, these issues really confronted our, electoral politics, so I must say. But after 1970s, or even in case of Assam, in the post-80s, a lot of other factors came into being. For example, ethnic communities, they talk about recognition, politics of recognition. They talk about accommodation, whether my interests have been accommodated by political parties or not. Then they also talk about representation, whether my group, my community has been represented or not. So these are questions of ethnic identities. Identity issues have also become a part of politics of recognition, politics of electoral politics. So we would be wrong to say that it is only developmental politics. That should be the only criteria. There are a lot of subjective and objective factors that play into the entire arena of electoral politics.
I'm running short of time. Amrit Khataniar, for a relatively new party comparatively less resources. I don't know. You may be having more resources than many political parties. That will be incorrect on my part to assume that you have less resources. But let me tell you, for being a new party, who had got much less time than many parties to organize yourself, to organize the party structure organizationally. Do you think you are at odds? You are facing severe odds in these elections.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all, in the sense the issue is very clear. The people of Assam has understood the crisis the Assamese people, the Assamese culture, the Assamese language is facing. People have understood the luring the other political, national political parties like this will, that will. They have seen what Prime Minister has said in 2016 could not be fulfilled even today. And even then, here BJP is trying to tell the Congress as a Sapna Ka Saudagar, but fact remains the Sapna Ka Saudagar is none other than Narendra Modi ji. So these politics will be there, but the people of Assam has understood the crisis they are facing, and we are, for information, we are very rich in terms of the good wishes of the people of Assam.
Rich in terms of the good wishes
of the people.
Champak Toladia ji, अंत में क्या कहेंगे? बिस्तर, I mean, very 20 seconds to you. अंत में.
वाइंड अप करें आप.
जी
देखिए, अभी जो इतना कुछ हुआ है, तो मैं एक ही बात कहूँगा कि कोई सुनने वाला और बोलने वाला दोनों को अगर मालूम है कि ये झूठ है तो इसको झूठ नहीं बोला जाता, और जिसकी लाठी उसका भैंस, आखिर में जो जीता वही सिकंदर.
जो जीता वही सिकंदर. Of course, elections are meant to be won, and that is जो जीता वही सिकंदर. Let me come to you, रमन झा. अंत में क्या कहेंगे आप?
देखिए, हम यही कहेंगे, सबसे पहले तो मैं असम के लोगों से यही आग्रह करूंगा कि वे हर जो वोट का दिन है उसमें जाके घर से बाहर निकले और मतदान करें और अपने पसंद के नेता को वोट करें. ये सबसे पहले आग्रह है मेरा लोगों से. दूसरी सबसे बड़ी चीज है कि कांग्रेस की सरकार आ रही है. हमने जो वादा किया है वो वादा नहीं, हमने गारंटी दी है, वादा नहीं किया, गारंटी दी है. हम गारंटी पूरा करेंगे और हमारी सरकार आएगी.
ओके, as I always say, we'll have to wait and watch. हम इंतजार करेंगे 2 मई तक, देखेंगे क्या होता है. जानकी गोस्वामी, final thoughts.
See, Wasbi, the last time our focus was on promises, but this time our focus is on progress and the delivery of promises, how we have delivered our promises. And this time there is one very important thing that we have noticed is that this time there is a pro-incumbency wave. So we are very, very confident that we will stand on our target of BJP plus is equal to 100 plus.
Absolutely. I think the confidence is seen in almost all political parties. We have representatives of 4 political parties sitting here, and all of them are highly confident. That is the spirit of democracy in this country. Without the confidence, you cannot approach an elections. But politicians play games, and we watch such games very, very closely, interpret, analyze, and keep talking. And that is going to be what Northeast Live is going to bring you: facts, views, and thoughts on the Assam election, which are exhaustive
Sikandar was, by the way, Sikandar was an invader.
Absolutely, I will not comment on that. I have absolutely no time. I thank all my panelists for participating in the show and the viewers for watching the program. Good night and goodbye.